Coach Brett, Bo, appreciate the time. We'll start with opening thoughts on the game from each of you and then take questions.
I think you probably got us at an emotional moment. I think we're pretty frustrated. I think we feel like one got away from us in some regard. We've got to play better lacrosse to win one-goal games, and we're not doing it. We were pretty staunch on the defensive end of the field. 8 goals is not going to cut it for us. Losing Tom does not help. I thought a couple calls didn't go our way, which hurt. And at the end of the day, we lost a very good opportunity for us to take charge of a playoff picture. And now, we're in a different spot. But we got to turn this thing around very quickly, regroup, define ourselves how we need to define ourselves, and we have a big game tomorrow night. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think frustrating would be the best way to put it. I mean, we got the best fans in the league, and we go out there and lay an egg like that. It's not good. We only get to come out here once a year, and I think we want to give these guys our best every time. And, losing a one-goal game like that hurts. And, I'm frustrated about it. But the good news is we get to play lacrosse tomorrow, and the sun's going to come up, and we're going to be okay in the long haul. And we got a good core group of guys. We'll figure this stuff out. And, whether we need to put more in transition, hit simple plays, or even just hammer some little things down on the defense, and we'll regroup and make sure we play tomorrow better.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add. Frustrated right now, but like they said, play a game in about 24 hours. So got to flush this one quick and start looking number one team in the West tomorrow. Try and use this home field advantage and get a big win tomorrow. So that's the main focus now, I think.
Questions in the room?
Hey guys, Toast from the Arrowhead. First of all, welcome home. It was good to see you guys again. Obviously, tough loss, one that we didn't want to see. Big game tomorrow. What's the game plan, and what are we saying to the boys tomorrow before the game?
Hey man, this team knows what it takes. Like, we've got our work cut out for us. That's a team that's playing very well. That's first place for a reason. Dauber said it. I think we're frustrated at the loss, and we're frustrated that it's a loss out here in a game that we controlled early. We wanted to get our fans into it. They were dialed in and ready, and unfortunately we didn't make enough plays to pull out a victory. So, we got to take care of our bodies and keep life simple, and nothing more than that. Like, we've got to execute and make plays that are going to put ourselves in a position to win a game tomorrow night.
Bo, just wondering if you could walk me through a little bit of that 2-point goal. It's been a minute since you scored from beyond the arc like that. Pretty cool moment there. And I don't know if you noticed the ovation, but I think you might have gotten the loudest cheer of the night for it being back home and everything considered.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a huge blessing being able to play back here in front of my home state fans. I definitely feel the support. And in terms of that goal, we ran a good transition play. Woody's a threat from 2, and he kind of started to step in and drew a lot of attention. Just made a good one more to me. I was hands free and just kind of skip one off the ground, and thankful it went. But good play for Woody, and awesome. The fans were awesome. Obviously, I felt that.
I know it's an emotional loss, but Coach, anything that you feel confident in, that you look at and you're like, we got this going for us, and we can lean on that.
The core of this team is exceptional. I say that week in, week out. We've just got to play better lacrosse. So in terms of the character and the leadership on both ends of the field, this team's not going to quit. This team just needs to play better lacrosse. So I believe in us. I think we believe in us. And if you're starting there, that's a good spot. So, tough to turn it around. Like, we gotta get our bodies and our minds feeling right. We got to move past this, pretty quickly, because it's a hell of a daunting task tomorrow night to play against a really good team.
Bo, I know you're playing in front of your home crowd and you wanted to get the W, but like he said, you mentioned the standing ovation. How much does that fuel your fire, especially going into tomorrow, to turn this thing around in front of your people?
Yeah, I think obviously fuels the fire, and then also we can, really got to leverage that and use that to our advantage, get the momentum going early and stay on it, all 48 minutes. I mean, you saw tonight, like, we have flashes where we look, really, really good, so it's just a matter of playing consistent 48 minutes now. We know we can do it. It's just a matter of doing it the whole time. So definitely going to lean on the crowd tomorrow, get us through, the second game in a doubleheader.
And I just have one more for your goaltender here. What did you see from your side of the field that I don't know, that either threw you for a loop or threw your defense for a loop, or was it really just kind of they sometimes landed the goal when they could?
I mean, I don't think they really threw us for a loop. I mean, their offense is a good offense. I think we only gave up 8 goals technically with 1 2-pointer. So if you give up 8 goals any day of the week, that's okay for us. And I think again, we just didn't score one more than them. It happens. It's part of the game. And you know, there's a couple I'd like to have back personally, especially being out here. But at the end of the day, we lost, and a loss is a loss. So we just got to move forward. And again, I'm excited for tomorrow. We get another opportunity to play.
Questions on Zoom? Zach?
Hey, Coach, Tom got dinged up in the third quarter, went out for good in the fourth. Did you see what happened there? And do you have anything? I know it's right after the game. Do you have anything on his status moving forward?
No, I have no updates. I mean, I saw the play. He came up, you know, with a little bit of a gimp, and you know, he's had a couple issues with his knees, but you know, cross our fingers that you know, he can take care of himself and get back out tomorrow and you know, get on the field for us.
Kyle?
Coach, as this season's gone on, you guys have had these, dry spells of, going without scoring. And as somebody who's obviously super involved with the offense, and during a game, a lot of things are going on. But as it's become a consistent thing for you guys, is there anything that's like stood out to you why those droughts continue to occur for you guys? And is there anything that you've started to pinpoint potentially that can help fix, those long-standing droughts for you offensively?
I mean, we talk a lot. We got to win some matchups, and we're not doing that as cleanly as we can and hope and should. And our spacing's not great. You know, we've got to be able to share the ball. It gets sticky sometimes. You know, we're not sort of dialed in together. I thought we came out and played well early. You know, Mac did a nice job, and I thought the flow was there. And then we just kind of stalled a little bit, and the ball got stuck in some guys' sticks. You know, I give Chase credit. He had 17 saves. Like that was a difference. He played well tonight. You know, and that can be a difference in a game. But you know, we go back to the drawing board every week, and we've consistently been subpar in the offensive end. And you know, we challenge our guys. I challenge myself as a guy who's trying to orchestrate it. And you know, we're not playing winning offensive lacrosse. That's clear. You know, if you're going to give up 9 goals, consistently, we have one of the better defenses in the league. We're not doing our job offensively, in my opinion, and that's, something that we keep trying to fix and keep trying to tweak, and we think we get close, and then we put up 8. So,
Zach?
Coach, one area on offense that you've adjusted is doing a little bit more in early offense. What's been the motivation behind that, and what did you think of tonight, how you did in transition?
I mean, we want to get up and out and run. We feel like, with our personnel, with Bo and with Woody, Pipe does a nice job, and against a team like the Redwoods, too, who, have some two-way guys, we felt like there was an opportunity to keep them on. And, Trey's goal, Pipe's goal were opportunities that we took advantage of. So, those guys are capable. And, if we're not scoring in half-field 52s, and we got to do it in early offense off of a face-off or early in a possession, then we've got to try to manufacture goals any way we can get them.
Phil?
Brett, you've been one of the best goalkeepers in this league for a few years now. Coach mentioned a big night from Chase Erlin on the other end, from one guy that's established himself as one of the top goalies, watching a young guy like Chase. What did you see from him on the other end?
I thought he played a hell of a game. I know this year he's kind of been up and down a bit, and it's not easy to be good in this league. Like, you're gonna have your nights where you get shelled, and it happens. And I thought he played great. I thought I had a lot of respect for him. He's a good guy, good kid, and believe it or not, we're actually the same age. So it's not as old as it thinks, but a couple of us got a few more tenures in the league. But he played great tonight, and I'm glad he played well. And obviously it sucks it was against us, but I'm glad he had a breakout game today.
Any other questions on Zoom? Anyone else in the room? Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Coach, Chris, Chase, congrats on the win. We'll start with opening thoughts on the game from each of you and then take questions.
You guys go ahead. Kick us off, Kev.
Yeah, I think it was a battle. What was it, 7-5 going into halftime, something like that. Up and down. They're a very good defensive team, so you got to take care of the ball, take care of your possessions. You got to be smart up and down the field. But yeah, it was just a battle. We were fighting for our season, fighting for our lives. So couldn't be more happy with the group.
Yeah, no, I felt the same going into the fourth. It was just like, seemed like that's been the same scenario the last 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. But our belief never wavered, right? We just knew, keep plugging away, keep believing, and you know, eventually it's going to turn out our way. And just an extra emphasis this week on really believing 100%. You know, trusting each other, and it paid off. So looking to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be prouder of these guys just fighting, you know, week in and week out. And you know, we were just talking. It's been a long time coming, right? So 5 in a row, but you know, it was over 7 weeks between, you know, the bye weekend and then the All-Star break. So you know, it definitely feels good to get this one. And we knew. I mean, listen, they're a great team. There's a reason why they were, you know, unveiling 2 banners on the field today. And you know, it's a great group. You know, they're very well coached. You know, just an amazing group, top to bottom. And we knew we were going to be in a battle. And you know, it was one of those ones that was down to the wire, very similar to the first time we played them. You know, in Game 3 for us. And you know, we just happened to finish it through and put a full game together. You know, I think the defense locked it down in the second half, and you know, I think we started executing a little better on offense. And you know, I'm just really proud to get the dub, and it's a whole lot more fun sitting here in front of you guys after a win.
Questions on Zoom? Phil?
Yeah, Chase, you've made some really big saves this season, but the numbers haven't been there. But tonight, a huge breakout game for you, so almost 67% saving the ball. You know, what did you see tonight that helped you have the numbers that backed up, that went along with those big saves? And, you know, what does this do for you moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are what they are. I think, you know, despite that, tonight, I don't know, was no difference. I wasn't thinking anything different. You know, the defense, the team, we kept believing. Like, there was no kind of sudden snap or change. You know, and I think, again, like, yeah, the numbers might not be as great or whatever, but, you know, I never lost confidence in myself. I know the team never lost confidence in me, and I think that's more important. And so I felt good, and I felt good the whole year. It's just, you know, sometimes the bounces aren't going your way, but you got to stay in the fight and stay together. And again, I was, you know, my defense, again, has helped me out all year, right? It's not just me out there. It's those other 6 guys. I think our block shots numbers tonight, too, were more than we've had so far this season. So, yeah, you know, I just kept believing in myself, and the teams believed in each other, each side of the ball. So, you know, we just got to keep doing that, and they're going to start stacking and start falling. So,
Dan?
Yeah, for whoever would like to answer, you know, Chris kind of mentioned you guys playing for your lives today. Did you come into this weekend and approach it like a playoff game? Did this feel like playoff game weekend for you guys?
Yeah, I think 100%. I don't think there's any secret there, Dan. You know, it's you know, we knew where we stood, and you know, I think, you know, things could change. You know, if we would have lost this game, you know, you never know what the next week's going to bring, what the game's happening right here, what tomorrow's going to bring. But for us, you know, we approached it that we had to win this thing, you know, and we're going to approach it the same way next week. And, you know, I think the guys understood that, and I think they answered the bell. So I don't know if you guys feel any different on it. Gav, you got anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I agree. You put yourself in the situation. It's hard to win this league. Like, it's no joke. These guys are the best players in the world. And when you get yourself behind on the record standpoint, you got to fight. And then obviously a game will come where your season's on the line. And we showed up and played today. We fought to the last whistle.
Adam?
Yeah, for Chris, Dylan Malloy had a soccer assist to you in the second quarter where he just kind of kicked it. What was going through your head on that play, and was that, you would say, the most interesting assist you've ever gotten from a teammate?
Yeah, probably. now that you bring it up, I've never had someone soccer me the ball and then shoot and score. But yeah, that was a wild play. He loves to back his defender in. I was sitting up top for a pass, and then it just found me, and I buried it. So another team play.
Kyle?
Yeah, for Coach and for Chris, Andrew McAdory's been a huge part of your guys' offense this year. He's been one of the big cogs in the wheel, and it really felt like the Archers were trying to just really eliminate him from the game tonight. Coach, how impressed were you by everyone else just kind of stepping up when Andrew wasn't getting the looks that he's primarily been able to get this season? And Chris, for you, when a team does take out Andrew from your midfield and you see everyone around you and the rest of the offense kind of stepping up, how much does it alleviate a little of the pressure that you guys were facing tonight coming in, like you said, kind of fighting for your lives?
I think, I think, a couple things. I mean, I think that's probably the beautiful part about a team sport. We lean on Andrew McAdory to do a ton. And he is as competitive as you could ever ask for. That dude loves to win, loves his team, loves to play. He's an absolute grinder. And, he's a guy that, will put his nose down and go to work. And like you said, I mean, it doesn't show up on the scoreboard today, but I don't think that takes away from what he did during the course of that game. And being the guy that he is, he draws so much attention that, it turns into a team game from there, and guys stepped up and filled that void. And, it's kind of crazy when you look at the numbers, and, Malloy has a 0 next to his name, and McAdory has a 0 next to his name, and we came out with a W today. And I think for me, that's where I'm really proud of these guys, to other guys to be able to start stepping up. We've talked about it. We're a young group. We're figuring out what our identity is, who we are. And, when you take a guy that's been as successful as Andrew McAdory and Dylan Malloy, and, they get blanked on the day and the other guys step up, I mean, that's what you want to see, and I know Dylan, he just came up to me in the locker room like, Coach, I can give you more, I'll be better next week. And it's like, buddy, you don't have to be the best every week. You don't have to, that's part of playing team ball. And, I think, Mac made a huge play at the end of the game. If you guys noticed the end of the game, he's the guy who picked the ball up, drew a penalty, huge play. And, he picked it up again and killed the clock for us. And I think that alone just says the kind of player he is, and what he brings to the table for this team.
Yeah, I think we're still figuring out our system. As Coach said, we're a young group, and it was great to have Bertrand back in the lineup, lefty presence with Ryder on that left side. But yeah, I think it's a collective effort. You can never just single one guy out. You got to have 6 guys on the offensive end working together. So we're still trying to find our chemistry, and we got 2 more weeks left to do that.
No, hopefully more.
And more, yeah.
Yeah, Coach, the shooting percentage, during the losing streak wasn't great. And even tonight, it's, still at 16%. How do you build upon this win and kind of get your shooters going and get them more higher percentage looks?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the start of the game, I think I said it a couple times, it's like, I think for the first half especially, I think we were settling for, the first available instead of the best available. And, I think when you take those shots early and you're taking bad shots, it's going to lead to a bad shooting percentage. The good news is we had a lot of shots tonight. I think we outshot them. I don't know the exact numbers. I just think we outshot them by a little bit. And, we're doing the things we got to do. And, again, you can't take away from, there's an outstanding goalie on the other end of that field. And, you can't lose sight of that either. So, it's just everybody's really good all the time. And, obviously you want to shoot better and you want to have a higher shooting percentage. But, this is, for us, it's like we did what we needed to do to get the win today. It wasn't the prettiest, but we are thrilled to be here. And to that point you made, I mean, we're going to build on it, right? And we're going to focus. We're going to look at things. We're going to figure out where we were successful. And, we'll keep building for it for next week.
I've said it before, too. I think the goalies are tremendous. Like, as an offensive shooter, you're thinking about ball placement, where you are on the field, and you got to get it past your defender, and especially an all-world goalie. So I think you guys have to take that into account. These guys are so good. They take the right angles. But, yeah, it's hard to score in this league.
Phil?
Yeah, before the game, we saw the pictures, everybody coming off the bus in their Dylan Malloy shirts. What was the impetus of that coordinated outfit plan?
You guys know the backstory on that? I mean, I know the backstory on the shirts. I didn't know the backstory on the everybody buying them.
I mean, I didn't. Mine didn't come in yet. It's still in the mail, so I was a little upset. But no, Dylan Malloy is such an interesting human being, and it started at camp. Just like he really hasn't progressed with society since like 2012. So let's start it like that. He still wears cleats from college. Still uses the same stick from college, but we love him, and I think like the way his career's gone in pro, and again, I you know, it was a comment early in the season, but like. You know, he just needed a little bit of love, and like he's the guys have really rallied around him, and I've enjoyed getting to know him and play with him, and I think he's a funny guy, and so we like to do a little prank on him, and that's kind of where the shirts came from. But I guess they might be good luck, so hopefully we can keep wearing them.
And you guys probably don't even know this, but in the middle of the game, like I think it was the second quarter, he no joke wears cleats from like 10 years ago, and the bottom of his shoe fell off in the middle of the game. So I don't know if they showed that at all on TV, but he literally blew the bottom of his cleats, so there were no spikes left on his shoe. So we had to find him a cleat that fit him or semi-fit him and get him back into the game. So
That's why he's called Gramps.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting too. I think he's the only guy on our team. Actually, I know he's the only guy on our team that's married. And he's only 29, and he's the oldest guy in our group. So I think, when you look at that, I don't think it's very old, and I think that says how young we are. But I also think it shows, I think the busting chops wearing the T-shirts, but I think that's a sign of love, and I think that's a sign of respect that they have for him. I think most importantly. So, listen, I can't say enough about that guy, and I think. I'll just leave it at this, man. I'm happy he's a Redwood. Let's put it that way. And, I think he was sitting out there in a world where nobody wanted him, and we're thrilled to have him.
Dan?
Can you guys talk through, I guess, the way it changes the game when Romar steps into that two-pointer from on the power play there? You're down 5-3. Just the way that those kind of swings, those momentum plays from Romar can change the tone of the game?
Yeah, especially against their defense. They're so big; they take up so much surface area, and it's hard to score on them. And when you're in a defensive game, you need those kind of backbreakers to open up the game, kind of release their defense up to the two-pointer. He's an incredible player. What does he lead? Everything in two-pointers. So, when you get that as a offense that's kind of struggling in a certain point. It helps us so much.
I think in that moment it was a bit of an equalizer too, right? They had a two-pointer early, and two-pointers are tough, right? They're backbreakers when they go against you. They're amazing when you score one, and the fact that we gave one up and then he answered the bell. I think that took us to 5-5 if I'm not mistaken. So you look at that, and the two-pointers are a great equalizer to just put us back where we want to be, and it becomes a 0-0 game again. So, having him as a guy that can do that, it's amazing, right? I mean, there's not a lot of teams that have a guy they can lean on to bang it too.
Chris?
Yeah, hey, to anyone who would like to weigh in here, week 2, you guys beat Carolina in their backyard. And then today, you head out to Utah and you beat, the defending champs in their backyard, both Western Conference, obviously, opponents. Is there an added sense of motivation playing home spoilers in these situations?
You guys want to?
Not really. Every team is so good. Like it doesn't matter who we're playing in their barn or not. I think our motto is just win. Whatever team we're playing is the X team, and we'll figure it out and rally together and come out with a W.
I think that's a big one. I think short answer is no. We're just playing to win. Doesn't matter who we're playing. I think we ended up with 3 home teams on the schedule this year at their home base. So it's like, especially this one, like we talked about it before, backs against the wall. This was a must-win. Didn't matter who we were playing. It's funny, the guys they get hung up on, hey, we're playing this team, we're playing that team, we haven't beat this team. It's like, guys, I keep telling them to Cav's point, it's like, we're playing Team X, man. Like, last year doesn't matter. Years prior don't matter. Nothing matters. We're just playing another team, right? Forget who's on that team. Forget the records. Forget any of that stuff, man. We got to focus on just playing Team X over there, focus on us, and just do what we do. And that's really been our message week in and week out.
Any other questions on Zoom? Thank you guys. Appreciate the
Thank
time.
you.
Enjoy the win.